Welcome to TV Anthology Reviews. We will be covering episodes 1 through 3 of Season 2 of Monsters. First episode of Season 2, The Face. This one starts with two super smart criminals breaking into an old lady's home. They have the home robbery tactics and skills of the villains from Home Alone. They also have one-liners.
What are you doing in my house?
Geez, I don't know. Maybe we're, selling cookies for the Boy Scouts. What you gonna do about it?
You have two brothers, the evil one, named Ray, and the slow, dim-witted one, named Clifford. We get the second set, this one, their rundown trailer park home. This set is really great. They went all out with the trailer park accessories with license plates on the wall, a dartboard, and hubcaps. Lots and lots of hubcaps. A real bachelor's pad. A set where there is real thought and time put into it. They got their own Hard Rock Cafe. Why do some sets look like this and others look like All in a Day's Work? We will never know. This episode does remind me of the Tales from the Crypt episode, People Who Live in Brass Hearses, with two criminals of the same ilk.
I'm gonna hurt her, Billy. I'm gonna hurt her for you. That'll show 'em.
No. You just follow the plan.
Yeah, but I want to. I'm gonna hurt her, Billy.
Okay, do what you gotta do.
Needless to say, it seems they weren't able to find the old lady's money, and so walk away from the robbery still broke. Ray does notice that bite on his hand is turning into something.
Hello.
Hello, little Ray.
The face is supposed to be of the woman he killed during the robbery, but I'm not really seeing the resemblance. Clifford tells him to go to the hospital, but Ray claims they can't get caught for the robbery since they left a lot of evidence at the scene. He tells Clifford to find someone to take the curse off of him and return his hand to normal. Ray doesn't have much faith in his brother, but it's the only thing he's got. While Clifford is doing that, Ray tries some other ways to remove the face from his hand.
However much you cut, however deep, I'll be with you always.
It does not work. And his hand keeps screwing with him, telling him he is going to die, and if he leaves his house, the face will start screaming. This drives Ray crazy as he is trapped, with nowhere to go. It's interesting that he is more concerned with getting the face to shut up than he is about having it on his hand. The effects are decent, but the directing, acting, and set design capture the B-movie aesthetics perfectly. His brother Clifford comes back to the house, telling Ray he couldn't find someone to reverse the curse. It ends with Ray being shot, and we learn maybe his brother wasn't as stupid as we thought. However, Clifford never took the thought of a curse seriously, thinking Ray was overreacting. What happens when you kill someone who has the cursed hand?
You genius. You genius. You genius.
This is a great way to kick off Season 2. It looks much more modern, and while the face effects look okay, the ending reveal of the back monsters are truly impressive. This has a more serious tone, and I really like the story. 8 out of 10. Ray was played by Gregory Rove, who surprisingly only has 4 acting credits. Clifford was played by Gary Roberts, who was in Die Hard and Point Break. Alright, next episode, Portrait of an Artist. Portrait of an Artist stars the dad from A Christmas Story, Darren McGavin, playing a very similar character who is cranky and aloof. This time, he plays Herbert, a man who manages an art gallery. Roger and Lucille go to visit an art gallery after hours. They are the only two visiting to see a famous painter's work, Viva Canandez. They start finding missing people strung up in the art gallery as wax figures imprinted in the walls. Herbert's acting is very Lloyd Kaufman, overacting while pretending he doesn't know what's going on, when it is clear he is involved in these murders.
Penny, that's a portrait of my daughter. She's been missing for 8 months, and When did Viva Cananda do this painting?
That's your daughter?
Yes.
Well, that's why she took powder. You want to get your friend up here.
I'm not the biggest fan of his obviously fake, confused stammering. Herbert takes Roger to visit the painter who made the sculpture of the girl who looks mysteriously like his missing daughter. Herbert says the artist Viva Canandez lives not too far away in a cabin in the woods on a hill. The caretaker, of course, leaves Lucille to look over the gallery. A noxious gas fills the gallery, and the door locks, trapping Lucille inside. Her fate is left up to interpretation for now. When they come back, Rogers is surprised to find Lucille is missing. Who could have predicted this? Herbert does his usual pointing at his head, aloofly shifting back and forth, pondering how this could have ever possibly happened.
I don't think she's here.
Well, if she ain't, it's real inconsiderate of her. With the door wide open, I could have been robbed lock, stock, and barrel.
Roger sits down and plays chess with him and seems to get over Lucille missing quite quickly. Roger sort of catches on and explains he doesn't believe Herbert is who he says he is, and then he goes exploring in the art gallery. While it seems Roger is outsmarting Herbert, this is not the case. He should have showed this skepticism earlier, or at least had a better plan of what to do if Lucille goes missing. Gas fills the room again, but using his mighty cane, he pries open the door and escapes. But then he decides to come back. When Roger foolishly sneaks back into the art gallery, we get the reveal the art gallery is a spaceship, like the movie Bad Taste. And Roger is getting a free flight into outer space. We get a reveal of the monster that looks great, but you only see it for about 2 seconds. Herbert was an alien all along. This would have gotten a higher score since the ending is so ridiculous you can't help but like it, and the monster looks great. But I don't like Darren McGavin in this. He's great in A Christmas Story, but the bumbling and faking got to me. Almost a 6, but one less. A 5 out of 10. Some of the reviews have commented on the artwork in the gallery looking cheap and unconvincing, but I'm going to be nicer. Yes, they look nothing like humans, but it is impressive how many they built. We have several scenes of them running through the art gallery, and they built many art pieces for this episode when they really only had to do one for his missing daughter. Season 2, Episode 3, Bond of Silk. Nash and Portia just got married and are spending their honeymoon in a hotel room that Nash got a great deal on. But it is in a bad area, and there doesn't seem to be any other guests. But it's okay. They are two country folks, and this is the Big Apple, so they took a basement suite in a factory that has a closet full of previous tenants who left their wedding gowns behind. Many honeymoon suites have heart-shaped tubs, vibrating beds, and red decorations. This one has a big hammock. Nash is lovable, but not the smartest, though he tells us he was a national regional tractor salesman.
Darling, you don't get to be top Southwest regional tractor salesman without knowing a little something about wheeling and dealing.
Oh, sorry. Top Southwest regional tractor salesman. He jumps right into the hammock, just like the New Yorkers would. His wife is much smarter and tries to escape to find the doors locked. Believe it or not, this is not a hammock, but a web for a stop-motion animation spider that's jerky style, makes it look even more unsettling. They also show the spider quite a lot. They do a great job of building the suspense. She gets on the web trying to get a broken bottle to cut Nash loose. She knows this will lure the spider onto the web. The lights turn off and the giant arachnoid descends from the basement elevator. This is an example of a character in a horror show being quite smart. She has a plan to cut Nash loose, but this fails and she rolls off the web, finding an elevator button on the bottom floor. The episode gets darker as the lighting turns sinister and she battles the spider. Nash gets eaten, and she almost escapes in a freight elevator before the spider bursts through for one last scare. The elevator then gets lowered, crushing the spider underneath it. Both characters are great and complement each other well. Nash is lovable, but really Portia takes over in the second half. She uses her wedding dress to get on the web, a bond of silk indeed. It even explains she is a teacher, and they learn spiders walk on the long threads that go to the center of the web so they don't get stuck. So she tries to use this to her advantage. It's genuinely frightening, especially the scene when we see the spider rearing to charge forward as she gets on the elevator. Nine out of 10. Portia was played by Lydia Cornell. She is best known for being in 106 episodes of Too Close for Comfort, where she played the character Sarah Rush. She's still active on social media and hosts a mental health podcast called God Shots. Nash is played by Mark McClure, who was in all three Back to the Futures as Dave McFly. Alright, in 2 weeks, we will do the next 3 episodes of Season 2 of Monsters.